Start2Finish was born out of a vision that the effects of the cycle of child poverty could be broken in Canada by providing ongoing educational support to Canada's at-risk children throughout their school years, nurturing mind, body, and social health so they would be empowered to graduate and succeed. Joining me now to discuss is Brian Warren, social entrepreneur, founder, and executive director of Start2Finish, and Michelle Wray, Director of Volunteer and Community Relations for Start2Finish. Thank you so much for joining me today, Brian and Michelle.
Well, it's a privilege, Candace, and we enjoy what you do, and thank you for having us because this is a wonderful platform to be able to just share and talk about what's happening and what's new.
Well, I want to know a little bit about how you started this. So can you just give me a little bit of background about that, Brian?
Well, you know what? I don't want to use a bucket full of words to express a spoonful of thought, but when I look at the early beginnings of Start2Finish, my mom was a special education teacher. And because she worked in education all of her life, and my dad working in the area of aeronautical engineering with NASA, I was always taught, be a lateral thinker and always give back. And after playing professional football for a number of years and winning a couple of championships and giving back myself to Special Olympics and a number of other things, I wanted to make a difference because I looked at a lot of the different children that were in the communities that I played across, even in the CFL, 8 years in the CFL. And what I saw, that they were blocks apart, but they were worlds away. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're in Vancouver, if you're in Hamilton, if you're in Boyle Street, in Edmonton, and I played in so many different areas. But I saw that they had dreams and they had vision, but there was a difficulty connecting that together. And with education being one of the platforms that I've seen in my own life, I recognize that although it is not equal, we could make it equitable, and we could give every child the opportunity and empower them to become role models for change. So we started off a very simple strategy by not only giving them the tools to succeed, but also developing a system, a pathway of hope, where you can literally walk down that pathway and access resources that will allow a child that is living in a racialized community and also at or below the poverty line to achieve their ultimate potential and their goals. So Start2Finish was born. We started giving out backpacks, and it starts off our pathway of hope, but it also moves into our scholarship program and our running a reading club program, a 32-week program. We'll talk a little bit more about that, as well as our mentoring and physical fitness. So there's a multi-literacy platform going on here, Candace, because what you have is not only physical literacy, you got numeracy and also academic literacy, and a lot of those things embedded in what I learned with professional athletics and what I also learned from my mom, because in special education, she said, they're the special population of the world. And I see the same thing in the children that we deal with as well.
So I imagine the need for this was great, pre-COVID. Michelle, what's the situation like now that we're, 5-6 months into this pandemic?
Yeah, it's still very much needed, and it has taken on a different shape. We were talking a little bit about how with our programs, we run through parallel with the school year, and we went on break for March break, and we didn't end up coming back. But our volunteers, they quickly pivoted because we know the population that we work with, they need the encouragement, they need the mentorship, the different things that we do in our program, the words of the day, affirmation for the kids, helping them to reach their goals and their targets. Although we were separated physically, they still needed that emotionally as well. So our volunteers, they quickly pivoted. Like I said, they got on the phones, we made calls to the children. The parents were so thankful that the relationship was continuing, and we were able to move them and to the end of the school year, and then also eventually launch our summer program, which we're doing right now.
So is this all being done obviously online then for the summer?
Yes, that's right. So it's online. We have a virtual summer program that we're doing. Our coaches are on there. We have weekly challenges, continuing to do words of the day, things that they can do in their own neighborhood. Obviously, practicing social distancing, nature walks numerously, as Brian mentioned, and the coaches do weekly shout outs and challenges with them as well, live on YouTube.
So Brian, this sounds like a very holistic approach to keeping kids in school. You're covering their physical health, their mental health, their education. What are the ramifications when kids don't stay in school? What are the impacts when they drop out?
Well, you know, that's pretty staggering, and it's a great question, Candace, because when you look at the amount of resources that it takes, and I'm just going to take one step back with that. When a child does not learn how to read by grade 3, and how they continue to fall back in the learning gap, and we're talking about this disruptive cycle of dysfunction, they keep going further and further back. Summer always presents different challenges, and not only does it impact our economy, it impacts also policing, it impacts the area of healthcare, it impacts so many areas. So either we're going to invest now or we have to invest later. And so what we find, a little bit of love goes a long way. So it is a holistic approach. You hit it on the head. It's not a silver bullet. It's not a drive-by program, because I think a drive-by program, like a drive-by shooting, it leaves people disoriented and confused. But what this is a process that continues to bring them from grade 1 all the way, if you'll look at, you know, those little cutouts that we used to do, and you see the kids holding hands until they graduate and they become a valuable contributor. And that's meaning culinary school, mechanic school, or university. But we've got so many graduates that have come through our program. And, you know, I think of a young lady named Paula, and she just comes to my mind. And she was a heavyset young lady, not necessarily into the athletic part of it, but she was a bright girl. But she felt that she couldn't participate because she didn't have necessarily the build and really the gear. Well, we began to start working with her, and she became one of our greatest junior coaches. And after the 32-week run, there is a 5-kilometer challenge. It's not necessarily to, let's say, get over the hurdle, but it's to knock the hurdle down. And, you know, with that, there's a Jeopardy challenge, which is 60%. So 60% reading, 40% in the running, and it's a team component. Now, the last person coming into the stadium in York University was Paula. And, you know, she didn't do it the year before, but she worked and worked. We worked together. And I'm telling you, there wasn't a dry eye in the place. I had a gummy lump in my throat. And that young lady is now giving back and helping others. So it's a caring coalition and a caring community. And that's how we're seeing not only change. And the only thing that changed in that community was a program that came in and said, we care. Because I don't believe any child has ever gone wrong when someone's genuinely cared about them. So, you know, it's really amazing to see how much a little love goes a long way.
Incredible. Oh, I really feel on a personal level that this program is so needed right now. Structure just got thrown off the bandwagon in March, as we all know. Kids are feeling, you know, disconnected, disoriented with this reality. So I really feel that your program is so needed. So Michelle, if people want to volunteer, or if they'd like to get their kids involved, where's the best place for them to go and find out more?
So the best place to go is our website, Start2Finish.online.org. And we have different tabs there with our locations, as well as a button where you can click to sign up to volunteer. We will be continuing our mentorship into the school year. We're also on Twitter and Instagram at S2F, online.
Okay, wonderful. Brian, I hope you will come back again and keep us up to date on the progress and how things are going in 2020, the year that just keeps on giving. I really do want to hear more about how this program goes forward. I just feel education is the key to it all, essentially.
Well, Candace, you're so right. And, you know, I just want to say a big thank you to yourself and those that have this platform and allow us. You know, Amgen, STEM education, science, technology, engineering, and math made it possible. And they're a lot of our mentors. And anyone that has a little bit of time, we welcome that. But we're making a difference here. And this is Canadian born. So we're seeing a huge difference. Thank you for all you do. And thank you for the time.
Wonderful. We're going to throw up all the social links on the video we share on social, and we'll talk again soon. Thank you.
Looking
Thank you
forward
so
to
much,
it.
Candace.